very friendly relations between the governments, between the peoples, between different sections of society. That's point number one. In any close relationship, there can be ups and downs. Whenever there have been difficulties, we have always resolved these problems through dialogue and discussion. A lot of misinformation is appearing in the media and other circles that India is not happy with the constitution and that is why India has put an embargo against Nepal. I want to categorically state here with full authority that this is completely untrue. This is not correct. As far as the constitution is concerned, this is for the people of Nepal to decide what kind of state, society, polity they wish to live under. The only point that India has made consistently for many, many months has been that everyone should feel ownership of the constitution, everyone should be a full stakeholder in the constitution, and it is our expectation and hope that the constitution will deliver peace and stability in the country. So as far as India is concerned, the only objective we have is peace and stability and development of this country. And that you can understand is in India's interest as well. If there is instability in any part of this country, and especially along the border regions with India, clearly you can understand that there will be concern in India. And that is why we have all along, in all our interactions, at various political levels and other levels, have always argued that please take everyone along, because if sections or groups or communities or regions feel left out of this process or feel that their views have not been adequately addressed, there will be problems. And it is better to try and resolve these concerns while you're drafting the constitution so that everybody is on board and everybody has full ownership. If this is not done, then you could have a difficult situation. And today I think we are in the midst of this difficult situation. So once again, it is for the government and people and the leaders of Nepal to decide the specifics of the constitution. India has not given any agenda or 7 points or 8 points that have been talked about in Nepali newspapers and also in one Indian newspaper. It's completely untrue. We have not had any prescriptive approach. Our only effort has been to suggest that please take everyone on board as you draft the constitution. In any event, the current situation in which Nepal finds itself is a difficult situation, because you have in a part of the country there is a lot of trouble, there is turmoil, and that part of the country happens to be along India's border, and a lot of your products, your commodities come through that border. It's an open border. And there are large number of checkpoints through which bilateral trade happens. And what we have been noticing is that this agitation, which has been going on for several weeks now, has now taken the shape of blocking many of the major entry and exit points. So what has happened actually is that there are certain concerns relating to security, relating to safety of vehicles, relating to the fact that people are sitting on dharna at various places. So many of these concerns have impacted the normal trade, the normal export and import of commodities. And I think the export from the Nepalese side is also affected. It's not only imports from India. So I want to say categorically here to all of you, there is no embargo. I noticed that senior ministers of the government have been referring to declared or undeclared embargo. So there is no embargo. Yes, we know that there are obstructions. Yes, we know that the supplies have been reduced, but we also know that there are very, very long lines of trucks and vehicles lined up on the Indian side of the border. You know, in each border post there are long lines of trucks. If there was an embargo, India would not have permitted those trucks to come to the border areas. And in fact, we are facing a security situation because you have these kilometers and kilometers of trucks, and it's very difficult to provide security. Some of them are carrying inflammable material, so it's a serious situation. And also there are all the truck drivers, others over there. So it's a situation which is also quite difficult for us, and we of course appreciate that it's very difficult for Nepal. Last point I want to make is that we see that the situation has developed in this way because primarily we see this as political issues that need to be resolved. You know, why is the agitation taking place in certain parts? Because there are certain political issues which need to be resolved, and political issues have to be resolved through dialogue, negotiations. So we are very happy that now this at least the negotiating team has been constituted, that some informal dialogue process has begun, and we hope very much that there will be an early resolution to these issues, and this would naturally then improve the situation on the Nepalese side of the border in terms of the dharnas and sit-ins and things like that that are happening. So broadly, this is what I wanted to convey to you, and once again to say that for us, Nepal is a cherished and a very dear friend and neighbor. The government and the people of India will not do anything directly that will harm the government and the people of Nepal and the interests of Nepal. This is far from the propaganda that is happening. We see in a lot of media circles in particular, and this huge feeling of and this anti-India sentiment that is being whipped up, I don't think is good. I don't think it is in the advantage of the relations between the two countries, because the problem is internal to Nepal. The problem that is happening in parts of the country is internal to Nepal, and that has to be addressed politically. It is not an issue. It is not an issue between India and Nepal. So we are worried that this kind of whipping up of anti-India sentiment, burning of effigies, burning the Indian flag, this is certainly not a good sign. These are not good developments. And once again, I would urge that all of us should work for restoration of the situation to peace and normalcy and the normal interaction that happens. तो वहाँ दिक्कत हो रही है, सामान आ जा नहीं पा रहा. दूसरी बात, एक जो हम सुरक्षा की जो बात करते हैं, कुछ ऐसी घटनाएं भी हुई हैं, जैसे आगजनी की घटना हुई थी, कुछ ट्रक्स को जला दिया गया था. तो इस तरह की घटनाओं से भी लोग थोड़ा सा सशंकित हो जाते हैं कि भाई हम जाएंगे, हमारा ट्रक है, इतने का हमारा सामान है, इतनी वैल्यू हमारी ट्रक की, कुछ हो जाएगा तो हमारा क्या होगा. तो ट्रकर्स की तरफ से भी दिक्कत हम लोगों को बताई गई है कि भाई ये सिचुएशन ठीक नहीं है. अब क्या हो गया है कि अब इतनी लंबी लंबी लाइंस लग गई हैं, तो उसका और अपना इशू बनता जा रहा है कि जो प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं. सो इट इज नॉट कि सामान रुका हुआ है, जहां से जा ही नहीं पा रहा वहां रुका हुआ है, जहां से जा सकता है, जहां पे अवरोध नहीं है, वहां से तो जा रहा है. विल मेक रेजोल्यूशन ऑफ इश्यूज इफ देयर आर एनी मोर डिफिकल्ट. So I don't understand this strategy. Burning flags, burning effigies is a serious issue. And I think the authorities have to take notice of this. If you think that is helpful in addressing the problems is one matter. But our view is that we don't think this is helpful. And in fact, we feel it is very unhelpful. देखिए, इंडियन सरकार, भारत सरकार इसमें पढ़ना नहीं चाहती है. ये आपका कंट्री का इंटरनल मुद्दा है. बॉर्डर तो हमारा खुला हुआ है. कोई अगर नेपाल से भारत जाता है तो इलीगल तो नहीं है वहां जाना. और आपको सबको पता है कि भारत नेपाल में रोटी बेटी का भी संबंध है. तो अगर वहां जाके अगर रेस्टोरेंट में खाता है, अपने भाई भतीजे बंधु के यहाँ खाता है, उसको तो हम नहीं रोक सकते. आपने कहा कि नो मैन्स लैंड में कि भारतीय जो सुरक्षा कर्मी है वहां हस्तक्षेप करके उसको खाली करें. ये तो हमारे लिए तो, अगर आपकी सुरक्षा वाले लोग ये नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो टू से कि हम लोग इसमें पड़ें और हमारी सुरक्षा कर्मियों के साथ मुठभेड़ हो इन प्रोटेस्टर्स का, हमें तो नहीं लगता कि ये उचित बात होगी. मेन इशू जो है कि जो प्रॉब्लम है उसको रिजॉल्व करना है. जो इमीडिएटली तो ठीक है अगर आप सुरक्षा कर्मी के प्रहार करके और क्लियर करा दें इस तरह का, बट मेन इशू जो है वो तो पॉलिटिकल इशू है जिसके लिए प्रयास चल रहे हैं. तो हमें उम्मीद है कि जब ये आगे चलेगा, कुछ रेजोल्यूशन वगैरह निकलेगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो प्रोटेस्ट वगैरह हो रहे हैं भारत नेपाल सीमा पर वो समाप्त हो जाएंगे. पर फिर से मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि जहां जहां ये दिक्कत नहीं है वहां से सामान आ रहा है. सी, वी आर ऑल्सो वेरी कंसर्न एज टू हाउ इंटरनल इश्यूज ऑफ नेपाल impinge on India-Nepal relations, and we are also very concerned. And that is why the constant message we are giving, and to everyone, to all parties, I don't want to identify any one particular group of parties or the other group of parties, but the constant and consistent message that we have given and are continuing to give is, please resolve these issues through dialogue and negotiation. There is no space for violent activities. This can only be resolved through peaceful negotiations in an atmosphere which is free from violence and in a spirit of compromise and flexibility. And this is what we have been saying in the statements that we have issued. So I would respond to your question by saying we are in touch with all political parties, all political forces, and we are urging them to resolve these issues through dialogue, because these are political issues. These cannot be resolved through any other means. It has to be done through negotiations. And we are happy that the process of negotiation seems to be going forward. And we hope that they will find a very early resolution of these issues. आपको आश्वस्त करूंगा कि सारी समस्याओं का समाधान निकलेगा, इसमें मुझे कोई भी डाउट नहीं है. और हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, आप तो जानते हैं वो नेबरहुड को कितनी प्राथमिकता देते हैं. और नेबरहुड में नेपाल ही एक ऐसा देश है जहां उन्होंने चंद महीनों के अंतर्गत 2 ऑफिशियल विजिट्स की. और जिस तरह यहाँ पे उनको रिसीव किया गया, जिस ऊंचाई पर हमारे रिलेशंस हैं, और अभी थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम्स आई हैं, पर मैं तो कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि जो गुडविल है दोनों तरफ में, हाईएस्ट लेवल पे, ब्यूरोक्रेसी में, हर जगह इतना सद्भाव है नेपाल के लिए. और आप लोगों ने ये देखा होगा जब यहाँ पे इतना बड़ा भूकंप आया, इतनी बड़ी त्रासदी हुई, तो किस तरह भारत से मित्रता है हमारे दोनों देशों के बीच में. तो मैं तो कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि some indication of this had been given in one of the statements also that we had issued, that there are some difficulties, because of security, because of the freight forwarders associations, things like that. Then there were some incidents where also from your side certain security forces actually went and took shelter on our side. So there were some such incidents which I think created an environment that was very complex, and that impacted naturally on the situation as we see it today. So that is what I would like to say in response to your question. Through very major transformations in its history over the last few decades. And it has been faced with many, many very difficult situations, including the armed insurgency for so many years. And I think the wisdom and the leadership of Nepal has always found a solution to these problems. And by and large, those solutions have really come eventually through dialogue and negotiations between the parties concerned. So I am very confident that this situation is no different. We have so many precedents from Nepal's history where issues have been resolved through dialogue. As far as the government of India is concerned, we have very warm and cordial friendship with Nepal, and our effort has always been to support Nepal in the manner which Nepal chooses. And that position continues to this day. So we have, the government and the people of India have always worked with Nepal to ensure that there is peace and stability in the region.